Hello everybody and welcome to episode 16 of the Little Black Cat Knits podcast. I am Ashley, your host, coming at you from New Jersey where I live with my husband, my two sons, and my little black cat who will be popping up in here eventually at some point. This is a podcast all about knitting and crochet and sometimes cross stitch and basically any kind of crafty thing I do. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. If you're a new viewer, welcome. Yeah, I have a couple things to chat about today. I apologize if you hear the air conditioning going. If I don't turn the AC on, I will be boiling. So it is Monday, August 10th. It's been 3 weeks since I podcasted last. I wanted to podcast last week, but Paul had to go get his 1 year blood work done, so it was just a little kind of crazy day, so I decided to just move it to this week. But I do have a lot of things to talk about, lots of whips, lots of new cast-ons, lots of things. I do have one FO, and I will start with that. It is, guys, this is bad. I finished my first ever amigurumi. This is Ariel, and she's terrible. Her hair is like 2 sizes too big for her. I think I messed up the head. But for my first ever one, it could be worse, and practice makes perfect, right? So I'm going to keep on going. I've moved on to Cinderella, and that pattern is from this Disney Princess crochet kit. My friend Kristen bought this for me forever ago, and I've been working on Ariel for a while, and yesterday I just decided to finish her. So that actually can bring us into my first whip. Like I said, I've moved on to Cinderella, and because this kit comes with everything you need to make Ariel and Cinderella. But Bruce has already requested Belle. Keith wants Belle, so I'm going to have to go and go to Michael's later and pick up those yarns and some more safety eyes and stuff. But I have started Cinderella. Her head already looks much better than Ariel's. And I've got one of her arms done. And yeah, moving right along on this. This has been a lot of fun to work on. I've wanted to start amigurumi because I wanted to make toys for the kids, and I started Ariel, like I said, months ago, and just never got around to working on her. And yeah, but now that I've gotten the hang of it, I'm really excited to keep going. I've got ideas for a couple things I want to start. Like I said, Bruce and Keith both want Belle from this. Bruce has requested a bunch of different colored Yoshis. Keith has requested a regular green Yoshi, and I found this really adorable, I guess you would call it a lovey, those blankets for babies that have the stuffed animal attached on the top. I found one for a pattern of Zero from the Nightmare Before Christmas, so I want to make that for Paul. So yeah, I have lots of big ideas. Let's see if I can actually execute them. But I do want to go to Michael's probably today to pick up the yarn and the safety eyes and stuffing and all that. But moving on to my next whip, I guess we'll stick with crochet. This I'm going to consider, it's alright, I'm calling it a half-finished object because technically, according to the pattern, this is done. It is the fall pumpkin blanket. I started this one since the last podcast. This is the one for Keith and I for our couch. I'm crocheting this on a 6mm hook out of Loops and Threads Impeccable yarn in, what colors are they? Pumpkin, should have called that one, and Aran. So yeah, technically, if I'm following the pattern, this is done. But you can't really tell, holding it up, it looks big, but it's baby blanket sized. And like I said, with Keith's mom's blanket, which is the exact same pattern, just different yarn, I will say this one is bigger than Keith's mom's. I'm gonna have to triple hers, I think. But the pattern says it's a full-size Afghan, and this is not a full-size Afghan. This is a baby blanket. So I talked to Keith. I said, like, do you think this, I mean, it fits on your lap, like, comfortably, but, well, not really comfortably. Like, you tuck your legs up under, it fits. So I said to Keith, you know, I talked to him, I showed it to him, I said, so technically this is done. Do we want to leave it like this, or should I try doubling it? I have more than enough yarn. And he said, double it, because there's no way that's gonna, like, fit anybody, except maybe the kids, but... So yeah, that's the plan. I'm going to just start the pattern over from the beginning and double it, and hopefully once it gets doubled, it will be like a decent size. Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm like jingling a lot. I did not think this through when I put all these bracelets on. So you know what? I think I'm going to take them off just because I feel like the sound is going to be very distracting. So just take these off. Licorice, can you not, like, claw at the carpet? That'd be great. I love you, but please stop. Okay, moving right along into whips. Let's see. Guys, you should see the pile next to me. It's a little ridiculous. I've had a bit of cast-on-itis, but we'll get to that. All right, so the glorious, absolutely, fantastically, wonderful. Oh no, did I just pull a stitch? Shit. Licorice, no. Stop playing with my bracelets. You're such a bad kitty today. There, now you can't get them. Harry Potter sweater is moving along. I have finished the front panel, which last time you guys saw it, I took the progress keeper off. It was like down here. So I finished the front, letter and all. And, guys, the first sleeve is done. So all I have to do is the second sleeve and join it in the round, do the collar, seam everything together, and then it'll be done. I am having a little bit of an issue though. Like, this is all the yarn I have left from this first skein, and I don't know if it's going to be enough, because this is my second skein. But if you, as you can tell, it's slightly lighter. Maybe not. See, in here it looks exactly the same. Maybe just like a smidge lighter. Like downstairs it looks completely different. I might be able to get away with it. I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. But yeah, so that is that. And I'm super excited. I did take a little chill pill on it because I worked on it for like 3 days, and I, like, you know how like you work on something for a very long time and then you're just like, I can't look at you anymore. As much as I love you, I can't look at you anymore. That was my issue with that. But it's been chilling for a little while. So, you know. All right. Let's see. What else? What else did I work on, guys? It's just lots of stuff. Am I missing a bag? No. Okay. All right. My next whip is that Harry Potter sweater is Mrs. Weasley's home knit Christmas sweater from the Tannis Gray Harry Potter knitting book. Yeah. So this next one is the Michigan Avenue wrap by Molly Klein Design. And last time I showed it, we were all the way down here. And I finished the green, finished the blue, and I'm on the white section. So this one's moving along nicely. I knit on this one, I need something like really mindless, which has been nice to have. Yeah, I'm knitting this out of Karen Simply Soft colors in the Limelight, which is the green. No, oh, wait, maybe. Yeah, that's an old ball band. What am I doing? Pagoda, which is the blue, teal, and off-white, which is the white. So yeah, that is that. This one actually moves really quickly. I'm hoping I can like get it finished. Licorice, what are you doing? He's literally chasing his tail, you guys. It's ridiculous. I'm hoping I can get this done by the next podcast. That would be fantastic. All right, so you are right here. Oh my goodness. I have a giant basket over here full of like all of my bags. And Keith's like, can you leave it upstairs? It takes up a lot of room next to my little knitting chair. But I told him I can't because that's where all my stuff is. And if I feel like working on something, it's got to be like right there, you know? You guys know. He doesn't get it. You guys do. All right. Next whip is my So Faded, which, if you guys remember, I was having an issue with my yarn that I had chosen, my hand-dyed yarn. I wasn't liking how it was knitting up. It looked like it was going to end up microstriping. So I dyed up a new skein, same colors, just dyed up a little bit differently. And I am loving the results of this so much better. So I finished this fade section here. So this is Dragon Horde yarn in the Stolen Song colorway. And then this down here is the yarn I just dyed up. Doesn't have a name or anything because I dyed it specifically for this sweater. But yeah, I'm moving right along. This is the 4th fade. So after this, I'll be on my last color for the body. But all the yarns I'm using in this, most of them are my hand-dyed yarn. This top one right here is Trench Coat. This is Kick It in the Ass. Like I said, this is Stolen Song from Dragon Horde yarn, and the very last one doesn't have a colorway name. So yeah, last time you guys saw it, we were chilling over here. What am I doing? Where's my butterbeer? Right here. And like I said, we were at a standstill because I was having issues with my yarn color. But now it's moving along swimmingly. I am loving it, which is great. So yeah, I've been working on this. The second that skein dried, I was like, yeah, this is happening because I want this sweater so bad. Like, I really want this done by fall. So I'm trying to move quickly on that. All right, so moving on to the next whip. It is, that is living in my Witches project bag from Toad Hollow, and the Michigan Avenue wrap is living in this Slytherin bag from Toad Hollow. I'm really bad about telling you guys what bags I'm using, mainly because most of the time the bags I'm using are just like giant tote bags that I have like hanging around my house. So, you know, it's not that fun. So yeah, I have to remember to just move in progress keepers here now too. I have to remember to start mentioning that. All right, so that is that. All right, next whip is living in this bag that I made myself, and I cast on some Hermione's Everyday Socks for myself, 64 stitches. I did a 2x2 rib instead of a 1x1 rib because I like the stretch that 2x2 rib gives. And this is out of my hand-dyed yarn in the Don't Make Me Angry colorway. This is what was originally in my So Faded. That was not looking right. So it was all caked up, so I said to myself, you know, I'm just gonna make it some socks. I'm knitting these on a US size 1, 2.25 millimeter, 9-inch circular. They're Chiaogu. I need to get more of these because I've been like feeling like I just want to knit socks. So yeah, that's that. Okay, 2 more whips and then I have an acquisition and then we'll get into chatter. This one is living in this other bag that I made myself. And these are for Keith. I cast these on for Nitty Natty is hosting Sock Week. Try to knit 1 sock in a week, and it started yesterday. So I cast these on because Keith's been begging me for shorty socks in like a lighter yarn because I tend to knit him like thick socks, and he wanted something thinner and he wanted shorty socks. So after he saw my Rose City Rollers, he was like, I need them. So I cast on another pair of Rose City Rollers. These are for Keith. I'm on the heel flap, and I'm knitting these out of my hand-dyed yarn, leftovers from a shawl I knit a while ago in the 67 Chevy colorway. So yeah, just moving right along on these. I don't doubt that I'll be able to get this done in a week. So yeah, I'm knitting these also on 9-inch circulars, Chiaogu, US size 1, 2.25mm needle. I do 72 stitches. I'm doing 72 stitches for him just because it's a shorty sock. I feel like the 64 he won't be able to like pull it up. Does that make sense? So yeah. All right. Last whip, last but not least. I cast on the INGALLS sweater by, who designed that? Let me check. By Caitlin Hunter. That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure. Okay, so I cast on the INGALLS sweater by Caitlin Hunter, and I have already split for the sleeves. This is looking really blue on camera. It's actually purple. What? So weird. Okay, but yeah, I did the color work, the yoke is done, I have split for the sleeves, so now I am just on Body Island. I have to knit, I think it's like 13 inches or something, plain stockinette, and it's like my problem with sleeves too. It's like I just don't want to do it. It's easy, but I just don't want to do it. And I like powered through the top because I wanted to get the color work done. You know, can't win here. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, so I am knitting this out of Loops and Threads Joy DK in the Iris colorway, which is the dark purple for the color work, and lavender, right? Yeah, lavender, which is the main color. And I am loving it, except for the 13 inches of body that I have to knit, and I don't feel like knitting. So, yeah, that is that for all my knitting content, or crafty content, I should say. Oh my goodness. Everything's going to fall out of this basket, you guys. It looks ridiculous. Ariel, you can live here, I think. Keith wants to put her in our Little Mermaid-themed bathroom, but I don't want her in there, so I think she's going to live there. She looks so lopsided. I feel so bad for her. She looks terrible. Okay. All right. I've got a feeling that's all going to fall when I bring it downstairs. All right. So I do have one acquisition. I was going to bring up all the cross-stitch stuff I bought for my birthday, but then I ran out of room in my basket, to be honest. So maybe I'll show that next week. Or in 2 weeks, next episode. Guys, I don't know. All right. I haven't eaten anything today. I'm like losing my mind. All right. So I ordered this Hocus Pocus sock set from Legacy Fiber Arts. As soon as I saw that it was Hocus Pocus, I was like, yep, I need that. It is on their glitzy base, which is a 75/20 superwash merino nylon, 5% gold stellina. And the mini is actually their steel toes base. But look how cool it is. I'm so excited about this, guys. I actually have a plan for this. The second I saw it, and I saw that it was Hocus Pocus themed, and I loved the colors, I was like, okay, I know exactly what this is going to become. Because I was going through my Ravelry favorites and like my, like everything I have in my iBooks, and moving them all over to Knit Companion. And I remembered that I have this pattern, which is a little Hocus Pocus socks. See that? There we go. And my entire plan is to turn this sock set into these socks. And that is going to be my October sock knitting. I have decided. October 1st, I will cast that on and go from there. So that is all the crafty content I have this week. If that is all you guys were here for, then thanks for hanging out and watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to hang out with me every couple weeks. Give this video a thumbs up because I'm pretty sure if you like videos, it makes it easier for other people to find them. And if you don't want to miss when I upload, hit the little bell and you'll get notified every time I upload a new video. And yeah, so I guess we will move on to shop news. I never told you guys where to find me. That's bad on me. So, you can find me on Ravelry. It's so bad that I'm doing this now. You can find me on Ravelry as AM Gatti, on Instagram and Etsy as Gatti Yarn Co. And there is a group for this podcast on Ravelry if you just search for the Little Black Cat Knits podcast. That's everywhere you can find me. Okay. Really probably should have done that in the beginning. I'm all out of whack today, guys. Anyway, shop news. If you follow me on Instagram, then you have been seeing all of these sneak peeks of things that will be going into the shop. I have made a bunch of candles so far. I've dyed up 3 new colorways. And tonight, after the kids go to bed, I will be dyeing up, hopefully, 3 more. I'm going to try to get in as many as possible tonight after the kids go to bed, without staying up too late. And yeah, everything's going to be loaded into the shop once everything's dyed up and everything's done. But I have been sharing sneak peeks of things on Instagram, so if you want to know what's coming and see and get all the little sneak peeks, that's the best place to do it. Let's see, what else? Yeah, I've realized I can only dye yarn on Sundays and Mondays when Keith's home, or at night when the kids go to bed, which is pretty much what's probably going to be happening, because I like to be able to spend the days with Keith when he's home, when he's not working, you know, 'cause it's family time. But when I dyed up the 3 skeins, or the 3 colorways that I dyed up, plus that one for my sweater, it was bad, guys, because Paul is going through some serious separation anxiety. Like, he will scream at the top of his lungs incessantly, even if I leave the room to, like, pee, or if I leave the room to, like, make Bruce lunch or something. Like, he can't handle being away from me. So when I was dyeing up this yarn last Tuesday or Wednesday, he cried so hard he, like, popped the blood vessel in his eye. So I was like, okay, clearly I can't dye yarn during the day anymore. So, or at least not during the day when Keith is not home. So, and I don't want to bring Paul into the kitchen with me while I'm dyeing, just because, you know, fumes and all that jazz. I don't want him breathing that in, obviously. So, you know, it's okay. We adapt, and that means I'm going to try to dye yarn tonight when they go to bed. So, yeah, I'm hoping, I will give you guys a little hint right now. The 3 colorways that I have already dyed are Harry Potter inspired. The 3 that I'm planning on dyeing tonight are Lord of the Rings inspired. And then I have some in my mind right now that are fall / Halloween / Nightmare Before Christmas inspired, but I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be dyeing those yet. They're turning in my brain. But yeah, those, the candles that are going to be going in the shop are all Harry Potter inspired. So yeah, that's that for shop news. And I guess we can move on to chatter. What has been going on in the last 3 weeks? Honestly, nothing that different from usual. We've been having some bonfires with people over because social distance hanging out. And we have a lot of wood because we found this place near us that just sells wood for like $20 for like a bundle, and it's like a huge bundle. So we like stock up on wood like once a week. It's crazy. So we've been doing a lot of bonfires. Like I said, last Monday, Paul had his 1-year blood work, and it was traumatizing for him. I felt terrible. And of course, you know, when you're like, kids are crying, and like, I think he was more scared than in pain, obviously, because like I had to hold him, like press his head against my chest and like hold his arms down, so he, or like his other arm, like his one arm down, so that he wouldn't like move, because the tech was saying like if he moves, then his vein moves, and it was just like, he was screaming so bad. I felt horrible, and I'm sitting there holding him, and I'm like trying to soothe him, and then like I almost started crying because I felt so bad for him. Like, oh God. But he was fine. Once he was done, that was it. He was like, all right, Mom, I'm ready to go home. Like, he's like really good with that stuff. When he had his 1-year checkup, it was the same. Like, he had to get some shots, and he got his shots, and it was like, he cried for like 30 seconds, and then he was just like, all right, I'm done. I'm good. He's calling me. Okay. What else? That's pretty much it. The kids got haircuts last night. I don't know if I've said to you guys, Keith is a barber, and I am a licensed cosmetologist. When I was working, I did hair. So we kind of tag teamed. I cut Bruce's hair, Keith cut Paul's hair, and then Bruce wanted a mohawk, and I didn't know he told me that like halfway through his haircut. Like I'd already like buzzed all of the back, and I was like, well, you should have said something. So I like did my best to like give him just like a top mohawk, and it was very uneven because he kept moving his head. So Keith had to finish that and fix that. But everything looks good. They look so handsome. Their little haircuts. Let's see what else. Bruce's birthday is a week from tomorrow, which is crazy. He's going to be 5, and that blows my mind. I cannot believe he's going to be 5. Like, I can't. So he's super excited for that. Planning his birthday party. He said he wants Minecraft theme, but I am going to quadruple check that with him before I go buy any party supplies. Let's see. What else? I don't think there's really been anything else. I mean, baseball's back now, which is fantastic. So we've been watching the Mets. We've been watching MasterChef. We've been watching Weeds. I started a new show. I've started watching Salem, and that show is great. Because I love witches and like witchy things. And I'm like, yes, this is right up my alley. So I've been watching that. I've been rewatching Gilmore Girls. It's pretty much it. A lot of Disney movie watching has been happening, as always. Last night we watched Frozen 2 for what felt like the 1000th time. I put on Onward for the kids on Saturday, and Bruce was like, we already watched this. And I was like, we've already watched like every Disney movie on here. Like, why is this a problem now? But every time I watch Onward, I cry. I cried like 3 times. So I don't understand. I can't watch that movie and not cry. Impossible. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Nothing too crazy has been going on. As you can tell, a lot of knitting and crochet has been happening, and will continue to happen because, like I said, Paul's separation anxiety is really bad to the point where now, basically, he's in his playpen. He has this giant playpen. It takes up like a big chunk of the living room, and so Bruce will like play video games and stuff, or like play with his toys and whatever, and like Paul will be playing in his playpen, and I have to just sit in my chair, which is right next to his playpen, and I can't like do anything. So because if I leave, like I said, to like go to the bathroom or like make food or anything, he like loses his mind. So the only time he doesn't is if I say to him, okay, I'm going to get you a bottle, and then he's like fine because he knows I'm coming right back with like food. But like, I don't know. Like I have to, so I've been getting so much crafting done because I'm not allowed to leave that chair because he yells at me. Like, I mean, guys, like the screaming is bad. But yeah, so I think that just about covers it. This is like the 37th time I've tried to end this. It's nothing different from any other video I make. And yeah, so I will see you guys in the next one. If you want to know when stuff is coming to the shop, head on over to Instagram, Gatti Yarn Co. And that's where all the fun stuff will be. I've been posting sneak peeks on my stories. So yeah, that's about it. And thank you guys so much for coming to hang out with me this week. And I will see you in the next video. Happy knitting. Bye.